No, we're not starting that way with the music playing and everything. Rough start to the day. Welcome back to another episode of Life with Lenoci. At this point, I've lost track of what episode we're on. You'll just have to see the number in the corner. I had good energy coming into this. I had good thoughts, good prayers. I don't pray. I'm not into religion, but I'm a spiritual person. I'm not really a spiritual person. I say I'm a spiritual person because I don't want people to say I'm atheist. I'm not atheist, but I believe in a higher power and I believe there could be something there. So that being said, I felt good. I had good energy coming into today. And then sometimes I walk in and it's a disaster, and that's what life is. Life sometimes hands you disasters, and you have to shape your character based off how you react to those disasters. Life is not always going to be easy breezy, easy peasy, whatever the saying you want it to be. Okay? Sometimes it's going to be disastrous and sometimes it's going to be calm, but either way, how you act behind closed doors is who your true character is. And that's where we are, brought to you by Life with Lenoci Podcast. And the music fades out. Now let's get to business now. Motherfucker, I come in here and the fucking camera is at a different height. That's going to bother me mentally. He doesn't care. He wants that to be a part of his little fucking game that he does with me. But I'm stressed. I'm stressed out now because I'm thinking the framing is not going to look consistent. And one thing about me, consistency. I am consistently consistent with showing up and doing my part. And I do consistently some of the same bits. I switched them around. I don't know, whatever. Somehow I can be consistent. But you know what? It makes me want to sit up taller. I don't know. For all I know, it's showing my chin and up. That's it. Literally, if the bottom of the microphone is not in the frame, I will be pissed. Because every episode, I'm looking right now, the bottom of the microphone is in all of the frames. And guess what? My nose is itchy. So that's how we're starting this week. But you know what? We're not going to get into what happened the past week, therapeutic wise, in Vegas for a week, did shows. We're not going to get into that because guess what we finally have? Guess what we finally have? We are going to get to our first story ever written on Life with Lenoci, and we thank you for writing in. Again, you could write in at lenoci.michael@gmail.com. Everything is anonymous, but we can help you with your problems. And to be quite frank, this is an issue where I was kind of stumped, but then I thought about it and I have an answer. Now, people might disagree with it, but I have a plan for this person. But I was just kind of like, oh, this is a good issue to talk about. And it's a difficult issue. And it's a hard issue that not everybody might be on board with. But these are situations that happen going into life. Difficult situations happen, disasters, and you have to deal with it. And now Mark is going to read it to us. And again, if you have a situation like this, please write in and we can help you out. How's it feel? It feels like I'm getting better at podcasting. No?
It's about time.
Nice. Congratulations, bro. Your first funny.
Aw.
Dude, my hair is as long as yours now. And I'm not going to cut it until we get 4 stories in a row.
Okay.
Like mine's long, like yours is like
I just cut mine last week.
Your hair always looks like it should be cut. Even after you get it cut. This is long for me. Do you see my hair and go, whoa, he's poofing?
No, because you just hide it under a hat most of the time.
I've only worn a hat on one episode and we're on episode 15.
Okay.
So you're a bad observational asshole. So how about that? You're thinking back in the day of some of the other pods.
Yeah.
It's okay. I get it. But I just don't want poofy hair. Does it look like I'm throwing out?
I see you're back to the black shirts.
Yeah, that was just the white episode. That was the white shirt. Listen, I'm consistent with the black shirt.
Throwing you softballs.
Nice. Consistent with the black shirt, and also peak shape, dude. Peak tip top shape of my life. 38. Haven't been in this great shape since who knows. Gonna go back years. I mean, I'm seeing 170s all day, every day when I get on scales. So pretty solid. If I can do it, you can do it. Probably not because I'm consistent, but Still, okay. Let's get to the story. Is there a title? No, it just says problem. Okay.
I will admit I have not read it, so I'm gonna read it blind.
Okay. Well, maybe skim a little bit so you don't stutter and it comes out clear.
No, I'm actually able to read.
Okay. Well, I want you to be respectful
Hey,
to the
Michael.
purser.
My mother-in-law is moving her.
No. We're just gonna read it. We don't need you to act.
Oh no, I enunciate.
No, I don't. It's boring.
Yeah,
if you
I
act.
don't sound like a robot.
I kind of rather you be robotic. All right,
Hi,
here we go.
Michael. My mother-in-law is moving her 87-year-old.
No. We gotta start over. Just be normal. Let's do it. Here we go.
Hi, Michael. My mother-in-law is moving her 87-year-old dad to a retirement home because she's selling her house to travel the country with her husband. He cannot take his dog with him because he can't properly care for her. She uses the bathroom in the house, and it is a literal pain in the ass when she's not next to him every second of the day. She loses her shit when she's not around, like if she goes to a doctor's appointment. She will howl for hours and scratch at the door trying to find him. This dog is 15 years old, so she's most likely nearing the end of her life, but seems to be in okay shape for the time being. The in-laws don't want to keep her after he goes to the home, and they don't want to burden another family because they know how she is without him. They are considering putting her down. She has severe separation anxiety.
Yeah.
I have 2 dogs of my own, and I'm not in a position to take her myself.
Yeah.
Her dad does not want to move into a retirement home without his dog.
Uh-huh.
Pets are allowed at the home, but like I said, he can't properly care for her anymore. I feel bad because if it was my best friend, I wouldn't want her to be put down if she wasn't ready. But would I really have a choice in the matter? Also, if they do put her down, how do you go about telling him? Thoughts or solutions?
Well, first of all, putting the dog down before it needs to be put down is out of the question. That's not even an answer. We're not even going to go there because it's just not an option. Because first of all, depending on where you live in the country, there are plenty of places that will take this dog in. There's especially big cities, even if it's a 15-year-old dog, even if it's high maintenance. I mean, there's a comic I know, Gary, his name's Gary Cannon, and he's a what would you call him? Like he's got like 10, 15 dogs at his house.
A
foster guy, and he has 10 to 15 dogs at his house in a big backyard all the time. And to be honest, I think that maybe the separation anxiety could be fixed after a week or two if it was around 10 other dogs. I think that keeps it distracted and could help. And I think that's the first option I'm thinking is like where there's got to be a place. You got to do your diligent work and find a place. But I don't even think legally, I mean, would a vet even be like, oh, he's healthy, we're going to put him down? I guess.
What vet would put a dog down that's healthy and spry?
Well, they do all the time when there's overboarding and they don't have anywhere to, and nobody adopts a dog. So that does happen.
Yeah, that's not the vet though.
That's
the shelter.
That's a shelter. So no vet would, but like, so what you're saying is the dog would go to a shelter. They would put it down in a couple of weeks, but you can't go forcefully put a dog down.
No.
So you can't be like, hey, we can't take care of it. Can you put him down? The vet would just be like, no, we'll bring it to a shelter and we'll try to find a home for it because it's still alive. Likely nobody's going to take in a 15-year-old dog, and it would be put down in the next month or so. And it's obviously a horrible ending to the dog's life. But, I think with a 15-year-old dog, we got options here. One, it's not a big commitment. We're talking about a year or 2 years at most. It depends. I need to know the breed. Are we talking about a Yorkie? That could go to 19. You know what I mean? A Chihuahua could go to 18. If it's a medium-sized dog, if it's a dog over 40 pounds, this thing does not have much left. You know what I mean? Like, even if it's a Jack Russell Terrier, my Jack Russell would live to almost 17. You know what I mean? Like we're already 15's crazy for a dog.
You do have Jack Russell Terrier energy. Exactly.
Thank you. But so that's I just don't that's not an option. We're not putting the dog down. Now, let's get back to the other thing. The grandpa. What part are you laughing at?
Just that.
The barking? What?
It was unexpected.
Oh, you said I have a Jack Russell Terrier energy.
Yeah.
The coffee's kicking in. Throwback to Takeover.
Yeah. But who drinks coffee at this time of night?
Here's what happened. Now, let's take a step out of the story, and then we're going to come back in, guys. Drank coffee this morning in the car, did car therapy on the phone, was drinking it, finished, left the coffee in the car, got back in the car, driving to you, go, oh, why not? I have a little of the coffee left. Why not get me a little pick-me-up? Woo! You didn't see that coming, huh? Give me a little pick-me-up. Okay, so now let's go back to the grandpa thing. It's a tough situation, man. Do you know he's got to go to retirement home, and I'm sure he probably has separation anxiety himself from the dog. But is it selfish for them to be like, hey, we have to move on from our lives? The mother-in-law, can we break that down again? The what we're talking about, because it's a little confusing, right?
Well, the main
his
thing,
mother-in-law, so it's his wife's parents. Or her wife's parents, whichever, right?
My mother-in-law is moving.
So this is whether this
her
is
dad.
So a female or male. So but here's what's confusing for me. My mother-in-law, you already assuming is grandpa, right? Because we're talking about a married person. So this guy's even older.
Well, my mother-in-law
would be in their 70s. So if it was your mother-in-law is in the 70s, that means her parents is this guy's in his 90s.
Yeah, gotta be.
So this guy's checking out too.
This guy's going with the dog.
Yeah. This guy's going with the dog. Let them go together.
Yeah, I should just put him out in a cabin in the woods.
It's also like the dog's 15. How are you going to separate? This is a sad story. How are you separating the two after 15 years?
In their final years.
After 15 years, somebody's got to come in and help out here. We got to either how about this? We got to find the place. Obviously, they already found the place where he's going to stay. This retirement community / hospice. Okay.
But remember, this is all exacerbated by the fact that she is selling her house to go travel the country.
But she has that right, okay? Because they're old. They're 70, Probably, right? Let's assume they're in their 70s. Let's say they're even in their 60s. But they're not in their 50s, all right? Because they're retired. So they're in their 60s, 70s. That's fine for them to do that. That's not selfish because it's a lot to, take on someone. Like, my grandpa... we took on my grandpa for his last year. My grandmother, we decided not to have him in a home. One, because of financial reasons. We're a middle class family and it's expensive, and there wasn't much of their money because they're first generation. They're foreigners who came here. So my grandpa basically lived with us his last year. Lived in our house. I come home for college to take care of him. So I can't imagine my parents ever being like, well, we're going to go put you in a home and sell that. Like, it's just, that's cold a little bit, right? But are they bad people for not wanting to hold it out until after this guy's life? If this guy cannot take care of the dog, let's paint the picture right there already. We're going to put our detective caps on, guys. If this guy can't take care of the dog properly, then we're assuming this guy's got very little time left.
I would agree.
Wouldn't you want to give him the comfort of having his family around, loving, and it's the mother-in-law's parent?
It's his mother-in-law's father.
It's her. So it's a daughter father. Like the daughter's like, nah, dad, I'm out. Like it seems weird, right? Like
she's like, it's time for me to go travel. Sorry, Dad. Like I just need to put you in the home, and then you can't really take your dog with you, but we don't want to take it.
Also, it's like the home. That's we're talking about $3-4 grand a month.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, even if you live in a place that's affordable, I don't, even if we're in St. Louis here. Whatever, it's still a $3,000 a month thing. The nurse care, all that. Nobody wants to die in a home, right? I mean, sometimes they look fun, but maybe they're happy because they're in a community right before they die. Wouldn't you rather be in your house? Isn't that like what you want?
Sure.
You don't care
Unless
yet?
you're like,
Unless you're sick.
mid 80s and you can still get it.
Yeah, I mean, like my grandpa, even when he was fine, he just moved slow. But like, I think they're happy that he got to like stay. You know what I mean? Like, if
Well,
you
like,
have the extra room, which most people have an empty nest by that age because your kids are gone.
well, I mean, the good joke is that like nursing homes have like an ungodly amount of STDs.
Well, yes, but the Villages in Florida is the highest rated STD city in the country.
Because it's also in Florida. It's like a double whammy.
Well, it's a retirement community, and it's right. My parents live in the next city over, and everybody drives a golf cart, and everything is like accustomed to making their lives easy. They have like a community bars, and a lot of people are, they're like, how statistically, if you live in a house and your spouse dies, usually within the next year or two, you die. Not here because you have a community of friends and stuff, right? So the STD thing is when the single ones who lost a spouse, there's no worry of getting pregnant, so they don't care. And at that point, they just don't. They're not gonna.
It's just hedonism.
They're not wearing a condom.
Yeah.
They're like, what's an STD at that point?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They know they're on their last 5 years.
There's like no antibiotics in a pharmacy within like 20 square miles.
But let's get back to the detective thing. If this dog is also going all over the house, it's near its end too, from personal experience. So I just don't understand why his mother-in-law can't just kind of like stick it out for, it seems like less than 6 months to a year, morally, and for the comfort of the old guy who's clearly on his way out. Because if he can't, what's properly taking care of the dog? Like, I can't. So if a retirement home lets you have a dog there, I assume there's someone on staff that kind of assists with that.
Yeah, I have to imagine like the patient's not running around going to get dog food and stuff like that. They've got to have someone who's.
But also a specific area for the dogs to be outside. So you just open a door. Okay. Maybe there's someone there who cleans up accidents too. But isn't there an option to pay extra?
There's plenty of people who clean up accidents there.
Yeah. So why can't there be someone also like an option to pay extra to have the dog there, to have someone also help assist with the dog?
I'm sure the nurses would rather clean up dog accidents.
They don't get paid for that. That's the problem.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems with this story, I guess. But our solution is, listen, if the solution is we can't change what this mother-in-law wants to do.
And we certainly can't put the dog down.
We certainly can't put the dog down. We can't change the mother-in-law from wanting to sell the house and travel and not be there to take care of her dad, strangely. I mean, who knows what her relationship is with him, But I'm kind of against separating the dog and this old guy. It's kind of a sad story. It's a sad ending because he's going to die from a heartbreak. And so is the dog. They're just, you separating them is just fast. It's speeding up the death. I really believe that.
Exacerbating the situation.
It's not, I think you bring it to the home and you figure out how they can help take care of the dog. There's got to be some sort of reasoning at this retirement place. And that's really our solution. The second solution would be finding a home, a dog place. What's it called?
Shelter.
No, not a shelter. Someone that
foster home.
A foster home for the dog. And then that's the easiest solution, which there's plenty of them. I mean, there's tons of website wherever you are, unless you're in like some middle of nowhere place, then I'm going to assume you're not in the middle of nowhere place, because otherwise you would take this dog out back and shoot it in the head. That's how the South works. Okay. But there's plenty of places to look up and find a foster home for the dog that, even if it is high maintenance, they can handle it. They've dealt with worse. So that is the one solution. The solution I prefer is you to bring it to the home with the man and figure out how it can work out. And that's how we fix things in your guys' life. And you got a different point of view from mostly me, and Mark's kind of not in it, He's kind of checked out in life. He's just out of it, So the old man and his dog. That's the episode. The old man and his dog. How are you, Mark?
Not bad.
What happened?
Just a lot on the plate.
Didn't we just discuss 2 weeks ago
but
that everything is easy now? It's all in control?
Oh, no. On the plate, like, super happy.
Mm-hmm.
But, I was just like, I'm preoccupied thinking about, I got to get this ready. I got to get that ready. I got to do this. I got to do that.
Are you trying to have kids yet?
No.
Are there ever going to be kids?
Maybe.
Is it you or her?
It's her.
She doesn't want it.
She's just not in the place in her career and life right now where she's like, kids are on the brain.
But have you ever heard of the thing where maybe someone will never be in that place and sometimes it just has to happen?
Sure.
Are you unloading inside? Are you just unloading with no safety on? You're just unloading, going, and like whatever happens, happens?
Yeah.
So there's no preventative. Like, what would happen if she was to get pregnant? Are we keeping?
Oh, yeah.
We're keeping it.
I would keep it. Yeah.
She wouldn't be like, she wouldn't.
Nah, I don't think she would.
Do you think she believes in it, or she just wouldn't?
No, I think she's all about having the choice, but she's scared as shit of doctors, so there's no way she would go through with that.
Yeah. Also, mentally, it's draining for women.
Yeah, of course.
The what if? The next Michael Jordan could have been in there.
I doubt it.
Well,
I'm
5'8".
Sure.
For sure.
Definitely not. So you don't want to get into Vegas or therapy or any of that?
I said,
is softball season over?
Yeah, that was last week was the last game. I said fuck off to Haley. That's bad, huh?
And what was it, in jest?
In like text.
In text.
Is that bad?
Yeah. There's
Really?
No context.
It was really bad.
Was this today?
No, this is like in a text argument.
You had a text argument?
Yeah.
Oh, I never even let it get that far.
How do you prevent it?
Oh, that is straight. We're going to phone call so you can understand inflection and tone.
Well, it was post,
so that
it was
nothing.
It was post conversation.
Yeah, no. If there's still,
I understand I was wrong. So in therapy, I talked about that, and she brought up how you need to identify what your body is doing before you get angry. I thought that was interesting. She also brought up having a safe word when you're in arguments to tell each other that, hey, this is I need a cool off period. I thought that was an interesting thing too.
I have that.
You do?
Yeah.
You have a safe word.
Uh-huh.
Like if you two are arguing and it's getting heated, you'll say the word.
If we're bugging each other, pestering, like even if it's something as stupid as like maybe tickling her too much,
Creepy.
There is a word that's like, hey, like full stop.
Can we have the word?
Oh, it's so stupid.
Is it vulnerable?
No.
The
word is banana.
You got to be kidding me.
I'm dead serious.
Dude,
do
you want to know what she said to me, the therapist?
What?
Fucking banana. Do we have the same?
No, yeah, I guess. No.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know. So
what are the chances?
So
banana.
Because we came up with it because it was like, this will never come up in a situation or argument or whatever.
Yeah.
It is a full stop word.
It's a silly word.
That's a non sequitur in all senses, unless we're talking about like, what kind of bread do you want?
Ritz.
Banana.
I'm just thinking Captain Crunch. Like it's got to be one word.
Yeah, you can't be like, hey, I hate when you're going out with your girlfriends and Captain Crunch.
You could.
Nah.
Banana is just as ridiculous. But and you've used this safe word in arguments, and it helps. It really helps.
Oh, 100%.
Because you're just like, do you guys kind of smile sometimes and
when
go,
everybody
oh, this is...
gets in an argument, sometimes it's like, you remember elementary school when you were learning about rounding up and rounding down, and they were like, once it gets past 4, it's gonna round up, and if it's below 4, it's you round down. Like in an argument, they all have that curve. Like if someone's kind of heating up, like there's gonna be a certain threshold where they cross a line. And internally, like when you tell,
and that's me,
and
I'm the one who's going to cross the line.
And when you cross that line, you have to be cognizant of understanding where that line is and saying like, all right, banana, I need like 10. I need like an hour.
Yeah.
Or she could be like, there are times where it's not even an argument. Like, do you ever get into...
I need to have a word. I want to have a word. I mean, I might use banana too, but the point is identifying the situations where. Oh, so this is interesting. I grew up in an Italian family where people yelled, and it wasn't like... It's not like it's normalized, because like if I'm yelling or someone else was yelling, it's like, okay, let's go. We're arguing. It's not to make someone feel shitty or bad. Does that make sense? Yeah. And that's not normal. And you probably didn't live like that, or other people don't. So something that was brought to me that is interesting is now that's normal to me. That might not be normal to someone else. And then that can hurt their feelings because that they're not used to it. So now I have to take something I'm used to. We're talking about 38 years of life, used to communicating. If I'm frustrated or I'm upset, I'm programmed or used to communicating in those situations by yelling, because that's normal, because that's how I was raised, correct? That's not so for most other people. So it's almost like when I'm heated, I'm talking to you in Spanish and you're talking to me in French. So now we have to find a way to both speak English. And yours could be passive aggressive, nice person. And I could be like, that's making me angry. And I could be yelling, and that's making you cry, right? If you're a female in the situation. So that, I think the fact that I'm breaking it down like an NFL film right now, I think means I'm growing. But it's also interesting. I thought that was pretty interesting to hear. Clip it.
There's a smart way to use this. So even in examples like when my wife will say like, hey, I need you to take out the trash. And already in my mind, I've clicked over and said, okay, that's something I need to do. Fine.
Yeah.
But then she'll go on, well, because, the other day I told you that I needed you to do it. I'm like, no, I hear you. And she's like, well, you did promise. And it's like, okay, banana. Like,
is that how it
I've
will go?
understood the first thing, and I've acknowledged that I need to go do this now.
Okay,
so but you can use that tool to just kind of let them know that, like, hey, you're not telling me, you're now dunking on me.
Yeah, but can't you overuse or use that when it's not usable? Because it seems like banana can become powerful, and then you're using banana when it's not necessarily a time where it should be used. It's a privilege to use banana, and it's safety, but it also could be like if she's like, you're throwing out banana when she might just be expressing her frustrations about how you've you haven't done it right away, and you've also forgotten many times. So it is a problem because you are kind of procrastinating in a way, and that bothers her.
Fair enough.
So let's not overuse banana,
I
Mark.
would say that it doesn't really get overused, but there are times when it's got to be used to be like, okay, you are harping.
Harping.
Yeah.
Indulge me. Enlighten me.
Harping is
indulge
constantly,
me, I said.
constantly
okay,
going
yeah, I know
on.
harping.
Yeah.
Sorry, audience. I feel great. I feel good, and I'm going to have a word.
How do we have the same safe word?
I guess we could. Well, it's what she suggested. It's not that I've chosen banana yet. She was just saying, "Hi, I have another couple, and they use banana." And I was just like, so when she said that, I go, "Are you the other couple?"
Oh, that's funny.
That's where I'm like,
Wait, where's your therapist?
She's in North Carolina.
Okay, yeah, we're clear.
Wow. Well, that was fun. So I did 2 therapy sessions today. One here, this is post therapy, and then this morning, and I'm a better person. I was thinking I only want to have specific guests. If I ever have a guest, someone like Ricky Williams, right? And I would just have him. And then like if I have a guest, it's special. It's not like peers, right? But if I did have a comic guest on, they would also have to be kind of an elder, like someone big. But yeah,
like a Richard Lewis?
That would be cool. Why did you bring him up? Where there's a way, there's a will. Where there's a will, there's a way. God damn it.
I was like, is this a bit? Oh no, he just
all right, guys. Well, thanks for checking us out this week. Listen, all I can say is the algorithm is very important. So, and it helps a lot if you like each episode, obviously, but more importantly, if you comment. Even if you don't have anything to say, just put a thumbs up. A comment helps the algorithm. And if you're listening, please leave a 5-star review. That also helps as well. But more importantly, to make episodes more fun for all of us, I think this was one of the more fun episodes because we had something to kind of break down. Write in. Again, lenoci.michael@gmail.com. And, again, we just showed you there was no name, nothing to be heard or said. So that's our episode this week. We come back every Wednesday. We come out every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is, if you're on the East Coast, 12. So, sorry, East Coast. I'm just not going to have a 5 a.m. episode on the Pacific. But either way, we will.
Pacific?
Whatever. I mess up things. The coffee's really, it's a lot. Rest in peace, Teddy the Squirrel. We will. What, did we never closure that?
We never, last time we talked,
I got an email back. I didn't tell you?
No.
Oh.
Did you dropped the squirrel off?
Yeah. Oh, wait, we've
never talked, other than the episode where you were like, I saved a life today.
Oh, yeah, I dropped it off at the place. And then, like a few days later, I kept emailing and they euthanized it.
They were like, we don't want any more emails from this guy. Just put it under.
The infections were too severe from the maggots.
Did you cry?
No, I just kind of expected that. But there was no closure. I wanted to know why it couldn't use its back legs though originally, which we'll never know because they're not going to go through and do the test,
an autopsy,
or to find out. Well, maybe they could have because they probably just saw like the anus infection from the maggot part and were like, this is far beyond fixing, and probably maybe associate that with it not using its back legs. But before that even happens, when I find it, its legs weren't working. So I wonder what that was. Maybe if it broke its back or something, and we'll never know. We could only assume. But Teddy, we gave you a good ending, hopefully better than how this dog from today's story goes. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.